Hello, my wonderful spirit guides. Today I'm going to be reacting to Allie X Cape God, and I've seen this floating around the comments on YouTube now and then, so it's always been on my radar, but luckily a patron, Austin G, has requested it. So yeah, that's awesome. Sometimes I see comments, floating around requesting this, that and the other, and I'll go, oh, lots of people want that, but then it will get swept under the rug with all the other requests and so on. So when someone requests something, it means it's a done deal. Even if it takes some time, it gets done, and I'm like, yes. So it's funny as well, because only the other day on TikTok, someone commented, would you react to Allie X Cape God? And I was like, I think it's called Cape God, actually. Oh, it's called Cape God. I'm now calling it Cape Cod. I guess that's the play on words though, isn't it? Cape God. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. I must have read that just too, like, blah, blah. What is Cape Cod again? Isn't it like something to a space? Cape Cod is a peninsula extending into the Atlantic Ocean from the southeastern corner of mainland Massachusetts. Oh, wait, so it's like it's like a seaside town or something? So it's in Massachusetts, United States. It's the site of quaint villages, seafood shacks, lighthouses, ponds and bay and ocean beaches. Okay, it kind of sounds like my town if I'm honest. Nice. Oh, cute. Yeah, sorry, I just had to look into that quickly. I can't even remember what I was saying now. I'm sorry, let me just, you can skip this part. I'll show you where to skip to, but I have not been having a good time recently. I think I've said this in nearly every freaking video, and doing videos make me happy, so don't worry, it's nothing to do with the videos, it's everything else if I'm honest. But yeah, I'm just so stressed out, and I got this new onesie today along with another onesie over here, and they had an elastic bit around the waist, right? And for 3 days waiting for it to arrive, I was feeling like I can't wait for these onesies to come. I just can't wait, because I want to be cozy and comfortable. I'm so cold all the time and all that. So when they came, I felt like this real moment of happiness, there was something for me, because I've just feel empty and lost and not like myself at the moment fully. Obviously those sparks of me come out when I'm doing certain things, such as videos or something that's creative or seeing some friends or whatever, but most of the time I'm just kind of catatonic in some ways. I know that that's an extreme, but it feels like that. I'm just very kind of like a zombie. But so getting these onesies were a big deal to me, just because I was like, oh, it's something for me. It's mine, and it's something that makes, the fact that I want it shows who I am. It's like having wants and desires make you feel more human and so on. But once it got here, the elastic bit around the middle that cinches in at the waist was too low down, because I'm quite a tall woman. I'm 5'9", and I even got this in a bigger size to what I am, just so it would fit in length, and it's still it does fit. It actually does fit quite well, but the waist elastic didn't fit in the right area. It fit around the belly button, and I was like, ew, no, get that off me. That feels so gross and weird. So I had to spend ages on my bed with a Stanley knife cutting out every thread with the elastic, and actually it worked. So I felt really relieved. I can't say I felt happy, but I felt okay, that's better. So I know it seems like a small thing, but when you're feeling depressed or stressed, anything like that can just tip you over the edge, and that's what it just felt like today. Just a kind of, oh, okay. Okay then, so I've actually been so looking forward to doing this, because I have heard a couple songs by Allie X before on Patreon, and the songs were something to do, I can't remember the name. One was called Science Girl and Girl of the Year, or am I getting that mixed up? I'll have a look. It was a while ago, around the start of me doing YouTube, and I haven't really heard them a lot since, because I forgot about them. Science and Girl of the Year. Oh yeah, but I remember how they sounded. I really do. I know it sounds really weird because it's a couple of years ago, but when something stands out to me, I remember how they sound, if that makes sense. But I did have a little skim on this album and saw that none of those songs are on this album, so they must be earlier songs or something. I don't know. But anyway, let's get this bit done. If you would like to become a patron and see all these videos uncut, then please do. You can also join the middle tier where you can request songs, and I do videos where I react to all the different songs, almost like a playlist, and there's themes. The theme this month is songs that make you feel nostalgic, so it's either songs from your childhood or songs that just give you a sense of nostalgia, as I know that not every person listened to music in their childhood. But yeah, I haven't got round to it yet, and I definitely should, but because I was ill for half the month, so it was like another flipping, you know, block in my way. I'm so frustrated. I just want a nice clean run now, you know. I just want to like get better mentally and physically and get my life back on track again so that I can just get these videos done for you properly, and you know, I just want the old me back, but 2.0, like a better version. And also I have an album request here, so like I've just said, yeah, I've been taking my time about it, but they always get done. I will never let you down. I promise I will never let you down. So I always get the videos done. It just might not be super duper fast. Sometimes it might be in a month, sometimes it might be 2 months, sometimes it might be 3 months, sometimes it might be 4 months or 5 months. You just don't know. But luckily I've got some lovely patrons who have not pressured me at all, and just amazing. And I know that might seem like a lot to be like, oh, do I really want to request an album if it's going to take 3 months or something? It probably won't take that long, but I'm just saying, like, it could, you know, but that's down to you. If you feel like you would like to request an album and see me do it, no matter what time it is of the year, then, you know, go ahead and do it, and just know I'll always deliver and never do a half-assed video. That's why I don't like to record if I feel really bad, because I wouldn't be giving you the best quality video. And I also struggle with quality of video anyway, because my brain is so unorganised. I make mistakes all the time, but you know, I can try my best when I feel my best. I feel a lot better for venting. Also, you can follow me on Instagram. I shall follow you back. Also, come join my TikTok, because I'm starting to post little like snippets of reaction videos and stuff on there. I might be uploading something about my kitten soon and so on. Like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Join the Discord, or send me a tip on PayPal. That would really help me out so much. Honestly, I can't even tell you how much. But honestly, and also don't worry if you can't. I would never ever want you to go out your way to do that. But if you can, thank you. But anyway, let's get into it. Cape God on God by Allie X. Oh wait, I should show you my look quickly. Very quickly. So it's a bit strange. It's something I've not done before really. But look, it's kind of like all bumpity, like woo, woo, woo. Like on those bumpy slides that are at like a, I don't know, fun playhouse, fun area. I don't know, maybe a little bit too bumpy for that, but yeah, I just thought it'd be fun to do something a little bit different, get a little bit crazy with it. And very pink to make the boys and girls wink. Okay, oh yeah, and also these little gems. Got to show off the gems, of course. But without further ado, let's actually get into it. This is like the longest intro I've done in a while. So yeah, don't worry, I'll be cutting it down and timestamping. I don't know why I'm saying this out loud, I'll just do it and you'll see. Oh, I'm actually really feeling excited to get into this. Do you know what? Doing these videos is literally like my break. I know it seems weird, but like getting ready isn't a break. Getting ready is so annoying. You know, the feeling of getting ready to for the video, even a little bit of nerves or a little bit of what if I can't do it? What if I'm not in the best mood? What if I fail? You know, all the thoughts and like anxieties before I start a video are so strong, but then when I get doing it I'm like, oh, this is a break, this is the break I need. Like I just feel like such a release and such happiness when I'm doing it. Literally already feels so much better. But just kind of funny, isn't it, how you can get so scared to do something and then you do it and you don't even realise how amazing it is for you. Oh, you'd think I'd know by now. And I do know by now a lot more. That's why I'm here doing it. But anyway, stop it going on about myself in this reaction to Allie X. Sorry, Allie. Right, fresh laundry. Let's go. Oh, okay. Didn't know it was gonna have a big old bouncy moment. Bouncy drum.
Fresh laundry.
I can't even do that. I don't really pause throughout songs now, but on that bit I kind of have to. Fresh laundry. I haven't warmed up at all today, so laundry, fresh laundry. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm going back. And also that bouncy kind of goom, goom, goom. It's like bouncing a ball. I like that. Okay.
Too many years of not folding. These days, no one's bothering me about nothing. These days, no one's bothering me about nothing. No.
Okay, wow. I really relate to those. Chills when she says that no.
Think I've had enough of hard mornings.
Me too, girl.
These days, no one's bothering me about nothing. These days,
I am obsessed. It's a masterpiece to me. To me, that's a masterpiece. It doesn't have to be like this big, interesting thing where the orchestral arrangement was done with 100 people, or like, oh, she sings in this way that no one else could do, where she sings in a chord. It doesn't have to be this big, epic moment, you know. That to me is a masterpiece because of the way it made me feel. With the way that boom, bouncy drum came in, which had like a bass drum sort of sound, you know, but then it came with another, but it was so like deep. The EQ was kind of like, you know, the lows were brought up quite a lot and it had a real woof sound. It sounded similar to the other drum in bulk. So it was all like really thick. And then her really smooth voice, but then doing like little runs. Laundry. Again, finding it hard to do that off the bat. That just made it so perfect. And then the way it would like unfold and kind of different sounds would come in. Well, yeah, definitely. But they would come in and you're still trying to work them out and understand them. I'm just excited to hear this song again, honestly. And then, you know, she says, when she went, no, or whatever it was, it felt like, oh, like it expanded into this like 80s synth moment, whatever. I can't, again, not exactly doing it right, but you know what I mean. And it brightens it, but you're still in that same dark kind of intimate place, but it's like a little bit of brighter areas on the outside, almost like you're on the inside and like someone's opening the curtain and you can see the outside through the windows like on each side of you, and like that's how the brightness of music comes in. Oh, fantastic. Just the lyrics, you know, I never can quite clock the lyrics and feel them and digest them on first listen. It actually takes me a lot of time, believe it or not, because you know how I analyze lyrics all the time. Actually, when I listen to music, I've never been one that could just pick up and go, oh, that sounded good. Oh my God, that line. I've always had to like really go in deep. And like, even when I do these videos and I read out the lyrics, there's still moments where it's like a month down the line that I'm like, oh, I get it. That means this. And what I said in that video months ago doesn't make sense to me anymore. That's a great thing about lyrics, right? But anyway, as I went on, I started to like, you know, sink into the lyrical content and start to feel like I feel that in my own like personal way, you know? So verse 1, she says, I want to be near fresh laundry. It's been too many years of not folding. And to me, that sounds like a metaphor, of course. Like fresh laundry could be like a person or like a place or, you know, a new version of herself. You know, too many years of not folding, meaning like folding is in like not backing down, you know, by being stubborn and staying in my ways. So now it's like I need to like change my perspective. It kind of feels like that. These days, no one's bothering me about nothing. And that's interesting. Like, I wonder why she says that. Like, these days, no one's bothering me about nothing. Like, that seems like a positive. But in some ways, it could be depressing. Like, nothing bothers me. Or maybe no one calls her anymore to go out and do things. It could either be good, where she feels good and there's no one bothering her, which is fantastic. But also it's like could be sad, where she feels lonely. But I don't know. Well, actually, in verse 2, she does say, I want to attend nice parties, round my neck and head, thin jewellery. Like, that does kind of make sense by saying no one's bothering me, like no one's ringing me up to invite me to these parties, you know? But she's saying, I want to attend nice parties, round my neck and head, thin jewellery. That's interesting. I guess that's more of a visual aesthetic. I don't know if it has any significant meaning. I feel like there could be something in there, something like a little metaphor in there, but I just can't figure it out yet. And then she goes on to say, you said you are always on my side, but what if my side has changed too much? Then tell me, who am I? I just like that. Like, you said you're always on my side, but what if my side's changed too much? What if I'm not the person you once knew? I don't know me. You don't know me. Who am I? You know, literally she's saying, who am I? Like, if you're on my side, can you tell me who I am? Because I don't know what my side is anymore. And why it was relatable to me is because, as I was kind of saying in this video, I just feel really lost and I feel like I don't know who I am anymore. I want the old me back, a part of me that I recognise. So in a weird way, how weird that this is the first song and I was saying all that at the start of this video. I don't believe in things that are like meant to happen. I used to, before all this depression and death and addiction that I went through, like, but I don't so much now, sadly. But then things like this happen and it gives you a little like, sure you don't believe in that? Because this feels like it was really meant for me today. And then she says, you said you're always on my side, but what if my side has lived too long? Something has to die, who am I? That interests me too, because like, not to get super deep, but like I've recently just felt like I've lived too long in general, right? Just like I've lived too long, it's time to say goodbye. Do you know what I mean? And don't worry, I'm not acting on that, I'm just saying. But she's saying, but what if my side has lived too long? So a part of her that didn't fold, that was stubborn, what if that's lived too long and now it's time for that part of her to die? But then who is she? She doesn't know who she is without that massive part of her personality. It's scary, but she knows it's probably not helping her. She then says, I want to wake up to friends calling. I think I've had enough of hard mornings. And I was like, ugh, same. Because like she wants to wake up to like people wanting to hang out with her and being with her. And she's had enough of waking up in the morning. It's depression, like all over. So yeah, I get it. Just I'm sick of waking up and feeling lonely and having hard times, and I just want to feel good now. And then she finishes it off by, I want to be near fresh laundry, fresh laundry, fresh laundry, which I kind of explained already at the start. Let me have a look at the about section too. Oh yeah, I also wanted to say that like the song had little psychedelic moments, especially in her little runs that she would do. I can't even remember. She went something like that, and I was like, oh, a little bit psychedelic. Those are like some of my favourite notes as well in psychedelic music, with all the you know, it just feels so freeing. It feels like you're really on a journey in like this kind of beautiful area, and even the instrumental had psychedelic moments, and I always loved that. I'm a sucker for it. It says the lyrics were inspired by the fresh scent and softness of a warm white towel. About the deeper meaning of the song, Allie has stated that fresh laundry is about longing for things you can't have. Oh, that's interesting too. Fresh Laundry was written on the very first day in Sweden ever, working with Oscar Gors and James Allen Galeb. I remember the experience being pretty trippy. Melodies and lyrics were flowing out of me without me thinking too consciously about anything but feeling an emotional release. That day a new sound was born which ultimately guided my writing process for the next year. Fresh Laundry marked the beginning of something significant. Because of this new playground of sounds, I finally felt able to tap into some feelings I had never been able to translate into song. And I've made music that feels more me than anything I've ever released. When I wrote this lyric, I was thinking about the fresh scent and softness of a warm white towel after my mother did the laundry. I was thinking about how nice it would be to bury my head into a towel like that and breathe it in. I was thinking about how I couldn't get my towels to smell or feel like that on my own. Oh my God, I honestly, that on its own is so relatable. But anyway, and I was thinking about how I couldn't go home. This is a song about longing for things you can't have. So it does make sense again, like the whole I want my friends to call me, I want this, I want that, she does say a lot of that. And then little bits mixed in there, which are the things that I kind of understood, like, as well, this kind of who am I moment of like, who am I now? Like, I long for all these things, I don't know who I am though. I don't know, it's just interesting and really cool for a very first song. Okay, anyway, moving on. Next one is called Devil I Know. That's familiar, but I just think it's familiar in a nostalgic way.
Big mistake. Making myself in my brain.
Yeah, it's pretty like simple in that way, very pop.
Every time I take your lead, feels like a curse.
It's got a bit of an Arctic Monkeys thing going on as well.
Baby, you're the devil I know.
Yeah, that's
I'm
nice.
just praying now.
Oh, with the holy kind of choral moment.
I
Ooh.
want to run and get free, but staying with you is easy. Yeah, then leaving.
Yeah, that's
Feels
cool.
like a holiday breeze when we go out. I guess that's the price that you pay when you're in love.
Oh, I love that so much.
Just praying now. Only on my knees. Baby, you're the devil I know.
Nice. Ooh, very cool. That's interesting. That song really felt like a pop song, but with her little bit of rocky twist and like dum 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 dum. It had like the really like the start song. It had that real rich sound where it has like warm oranges and warm pinks, like like a hot pink, but like a deeper pink. You know what I mean? Kind of a bit like this type of pinkish. It's like, and so on, and like burnt oranges, definitely with that dum dum dum. It reminded me of like a bit of like an Eminem. So obviously different, but it had a similar dum, boom, boom, boom. And then it also reminded me of Arctic Monkeys as well. Yeah, a few of their songs really. But I love the whole like and then into that gritty chorus, and then you don't pull it back into that verse where it's all very straightforward, but it goes into that like holy minute, and it's almost like funny because it's got that like kind of choral moment that doesn't sound overly real. It almost sounds like synthetic, but in like a cool way, like used with synths, like, and so on, like a synth choir or whatever, like some sort of plug-in, I don't know. But I love that bit, how it shifts into that. It really does like a little difference within the song. But the whole song sounded like a song that my daughter would love. Like, I just know she would love it, and it's so catchy, easy to sing along to immediately. As you could tell by my reaction, I was singing along straight away. It was simple yet so fun and effective, and I feel like the lyrics might have something quite deep to it from what I was hearing, and a little bit darker, like all kind of cool, simple pop songs. You get like songs like that, but they have darker lyrics, and I'm looking forward to getting into it now, but I am going to go put a top on underneath this and take this little bit off because I'm boiling hot. Okay, had a pink backup, so that's cool. I didn't even know I had pink clothes, other pink clothes, but I did, and it kind of goes with all this. I've actually like had to put like a crop top thing like this underneath, and then put this over the top, otherwise it'd be see-through and you'd be able to see. I could just wear this, but I don't feel right just wearing that, so I don't know, I've just made a combination, alright? Get with it. And this is just for my arms so I don't feel too insecure. But anyway, yeah, I'm ready to get into the lyrics. And so she says, I think I made a big mistake. You keep messing with my brain. You tell me eat the whole cake, it's what I deserve. Every time I take your lead, feels like a curse. And every time I try to stop, it feels even worse. Kind of sounds like it's either about a person, you know, or I think it could be, because like on a TikTok comment that someone said like, oh, they talk about their use of opiates, or maybe they used in the past or whatever. But it could be about like a drug or a drink, you know, like alcohol, whatever it is. It just sounds so much like it. Like, you tell me eat the whole cake, it's what I deserve. It's a bit like the devil on your shoulder, because she's saying about the devil I know. Maybe it's the devil on the shoulder being like, go on, have the whole thing, have more. You know, every time I take your lead, it feels like a curse. And every time I try to stop, it feels even worse, because obviously coming off substances can feel awful. I feel like it could be about that. Then she says, baby, you're the devil I know, better than the devil I don't. Maybe I could stop, but I won't, because baby, you're the devil I know. And it all kind of like talking about that devil that, like, you know, the demons and like the darkness that comes with addiction, that does feel like another entity kind of pushing you to keep going. Okay, yes. So in the when I clicked on the chorus, it says here, the devil they know is addiction. The devil they don't know is recovery. Oh, the speaker feels more comfortable in the presence of their own addiction rather than recovering, because recovering is an entirely different beast and they're scared to face it. Oh, hell yeah, totally makes sense, because I'm not joking, recovery kind of fucking sucks. Like, sorry for all those who might be trying to get over an addiction right now. I am also in that boat. I'm still doing it. I'm still here. I haven't relapsed, and I had relapsed in the past, but this is the real deal now, you know? Like, if I relapse now, that'd be unreal. So, but I haven't. But recovery isn't super fun. It has its highs and it has its lows, but because you're gonna feel everything again, and when you're on this stuff, or whatever stuff you're on, like for me it was pain medication, which is opiates. I was on it for 2.5 years, upping the dose constantly, using it for the wrong reasons, and so on like that. So yeah, I got so used to that. And then when I came off it, like, of course, that first hell week of coming off it, like it coming out your body, is unreal how bad that is. And surviving that is one thing. But then, this is my personal experience, I can't speak for everyone, but like, I felt like I was all right. I felt like I could do this, you know? And I was in a lot of shock, I think. I was in a lot of shock of like, wait, did I really go through that? Did I really beat that? Did I really do it? And then when the shock wears off, all the emotions that you were suppressing start to like creep up on you. So any trauma you've got in your life, it will start popping up, and the symptoms of that trauma will affect you, like depression and anxiety, and you're going to start going, wait, what am I without that thing? Recovery is really hard. It's like having to find a whole new you. And I'm telling you, even if you think you don't have problems because you're taking this, you know, pill or whatever it is, you could think, I'm fine, I just take this and whatever, and you feel like you don't have any problems. But as soon as you stop and you do go through recovery and time passes, you realise you had 1,000 problems. They were just all completely blocked, because everyone kept telling me, you know, you're going to start to feel again. And I was going, what are you on about? I was still feeling when I was on this medication. I was fine. Like, I don't know what you mean by feel again. I always feel. And then I realized it hit me, and I was like, oh, you mean like feel everything? You mean like feel the things that I haven't felt, the things I didn't even think about, the things I didn't address, all those things, you know what I mean? So it is crazy and it is difficult. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. However, I do believe that it will get better, and I believe that like this version of me that I'm going to find is going to be amazing. I'm just in a really crappy limbo, as some other people might be who are watching, where you're just still like, the stresses of the world are attacking you at all angles and you're trying to work your brain out and all that, but you know, you will get through it. So saying, you know, like she's scared to give it up, I totally understand that, because it is a whole different world, but it's for the best, because taking pills or shooting up or, you know, sniffing whatever, it's not sustainable. You will always need more. You'll always hit a limit where it doesn't do anything. You're just taking it to survive, like to feel normal. You're not taking it for fun anymore, and you won't be able to keep up in the game because you'll die. You'll just die. You know, you can't take too much. You can't just go, oh, I'll just take more, I'll just take more, I'll just take more, and reach that high, because that high will be death one day, okay? So it's not sustainable, and that's the main thing. That's the main reason why I quit too, because I mean, my dealer was my doctor. It's not like I could like get more and more and more off them that easily. And I know I could have talked to like real dealers who might like do that stuff, but I was like, nah, I'm not even going to look into that. I'm not going to let that even be a gateway. You know, I'm not going to let that even be an option. So yeah, I'm staying strong, and whew, thank God for it, even though I feel like that devil is still beating me down sometimes. Not sometimes, all the time at the moment, but not right now, so that's good. She says, I could pretend that I'm just praying now, but I'm only on my knees. That's interesting. I wonder what that means exactly. I could pretend that I'm just praying now. Like, I could pretend to be praying, but I'm only on my knees. You know, I'm not actually praying, I'm just on my knees. Maybe begging instead of praying. Sorry, I didn't even put two and two together, but she says I'm, you know, pretending to pray and whatever. And I said in that moment, the choir sounded quite synthetic, and she's talking about pretending. And I was like, oh my God, that matches so well. And also in the song, you know, California Dreamin', when it goes, I get down on my knees and I pretend to pray, it could be a reference to that as well. Or she's just saying it matter of fact, like I'm just on my knees. I'm just like completely like exhausted, exacerbated. I don't know what to do anymore. Then she says, I want to get free, but staying with you is easier than leaving. She's kind of making it sound like a relationship. Feels like a holiday breeze when we go up, but you bring me down to my knees when push comes to shove. Guess that's the price that you pay when you're in love. That's so interesting. And also that kind of bringing me down to my knees, like sounds a little bit interesting, because you could like, obviously I don't think it is this, but you could also think of it like a drug that you kind of bend down to do. So say if you're doing like coke or something, you'd bend down or whatever, be on your knees to like sniff it or whatever, you know, you might be on your knees to do a certain drug. So in a weird way, it gives me imagery of that physical on your knees situation and why that might be used with a drug kind of song. You know what I mean? I don't know. But also I get it, like the whole bringing me to my knees, like depleting me, belittling me, making me smaller, all those things, or like, you know, I'm begging. I get it. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like, And yeah, she's just saying staying with you is easier, feels like amazing when we go up. So when I'm hitting that like high and we're going up and up, oh, it feels so good. But then you bring me to my knees when push comes to shove. And then guess that's the price you pay when you're in love, because she's saying she's in love with the drug. In the bridge, she says, I could pretend that I'm praying now, but I'm only on my knees. I could scream, somebody help me out. But the wicked one is me. And it's true, the wicked one is you, because the devil on your shoulder is actually a part of you. Like the devil going, yeah, maybe just have like one more though, because it probably would. Do you know what? It doesn't even say stuff, like to me, it didn't say stuff like, and it's not like a separate voice, it's a thought, right? And it's saying, you know, maybe you should have another one, because like if you have it now, then you'll feel really good for later, and then you won't need one later, and then later comes and you're like, oh, maybe I should have one because the other one didn't really work very well, and I obviously want the desired effect, so I should probably just take it so I get the desired effect so it works, so I don't take that other one for nothing. It's like mind games that seem really dumb to anyone else, but they like make so much sense to you in the moment. So yeah, the wicked one is you, because you're the one that's like, the addiction demon or whatever is part of you, it's part of your brain, right? And then you're going to heaven because you're the devil I know, you're the devil I know, baby, I'm the devil I know. That's interesting. You're going to heaven, maybe like you're getting high because you're the devil I know. Like we are getting high. like heaven is up, so we're going up. Says here what the artist has said about the song. This one's maybe the most accessible song, the one you remember right away, but lyrically, it's pretty dark. And I said that. I said, I bet these lyrics are quite dark. And obviously I heard I'm the Devil I Know about a million times, so I knew they weren't going to be bright and happy. But lyrically, it's pretty dark. I'm singing about myself. For me, it's about battling your own demons. There's a line, I can't pretend that I'm praying now, but I'm only on my knees. I could scream, somebody help me out, but the wicked one is me. When you boil it down, that's the message of the song. Yeah. Feel that. I hope she's okay now. I hope she has got through that, because this was 3 years ago when this album came out. I really hope she's found a way to get over that. I really do. Okay, anyway, next one was called Regulars. Regular Degular. Sorry, that reminded me of like the whole, I don't know if you watched it, but like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard court thing, and one of Johnny Depp's friends, I can't remember his name now, but he was actually so funny, and he'd be like, you know, just regular Degular. Regular Degular. And now I just always say it because it makes me chuckle. Okay, anyway. That bass. A live bass, real bass here.
In public, 'cause I learned a new trick now. The regular.
Her voice is just magic. She has such an art of making it sound so sexy.
See you in, and I'm outside.
She starts kind of like softer, and as it all like fills up, she goes back into the tone she was using before.
I'm with the regulars, just like I never was, but I'm outside.
So pretty. Oh, her voice is so cute and sexy. See? The regular. Oh, she does a tie here. Wow. That bass is brilliant. I love a quirky bass line. Like, you know, one that has a melody basically, and like does like a similar thing throughout, and you know, bounces like doom 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 doom. Like it also has a bit of the vocal line, like the vocal melody. I just love a bass that is very boom, boom, and it's not super legato like boom, boom. It has its own little separate boom. It's got a bit of funk, I guess, as well. But I just love a bass line like that because they stand out. They become one of those things that you remember about a song too. You go, oh yeah, you know, when it's a certain song, you start singing a bass line. You know what I mean? Or it's the same with guitar. You know, it's just one that you know. Sorry, go back to the Arctic Monkeys again. But then think of the White Stripes though. This is the bass. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. You know, it's something you know. It's so iconic when you got like a melodic, riffy bass going on. Anyway, that was a really cool song as well. Like, loved it. I'm really, really loving this album, and the sound it's staying on theme, which makes me super happy. I don't know, it's just so cool. I'm just really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. And I like how she could do with the regulars. And it's so cute. Regulars. And then the regulars. The regulars. You know, very drop jaw. Regulars. Lazy and grungy. And then, oh, Disney princess. You know, and it's nice having them next to each other. Shows how like multifaceted she is within the vocals, and like how she does that. Like also shows her range, and it doesn't feel like she's a singer that will go always super crazy on the notes, you know, that sort of thing. But she has a great range, and it will come out every now and then, and it makes it exciting. Yeah, I'm gonna go straight to the about section. I won't look through every lyric. So Allie has said, it's hard to explain why exactly regulars mean so much to me. The lyrics say it better than I could ever on my own explanation, but I'll try. Regulars is about trying to regenerate into society when you've been an outsider all your life, trying to fit in when you clearly never will, wanting to fade into the background but also wanting so badly to be seen. I have felt at most points in my life like I want to fit in and be good for the sake of myself and the sake of others, but it's never that simple. This song is amusing on giving up who you are and how fun that might be. It is sarcastic and very truthful at the same time. Oh, what a feeling, hanging off a building with the regulars. Oh, that's so cool, actually. I like the thought of that though, like when you think of it too, like I'm with the regulars, meaning like I'm with the normal people of society who don't feel like they are outcasted or aren't afraid, don't have anxiety. And when she says hanging off a building with the regulars, it's almost like she's saying, I'm walking around with the regular people. However, how I feel is I'm hanging off a building. So there's great anxiety, terror, fear, hanging off a building, you know, fighting for your life to try and like keep holding on. So she's walking around, but she's feeling major amounts of anxiety as she does it with the regulars. I don't know, that's kind of cool. She's also said via Instagram, this is one of my favourite songs I've ever written. It's like my torch song. It's how I've always felt. It's a very universal theme. There's a lot of people that feel like outsiders. Like I know how to fake it. I know how to please people, but I don't feel understood a lot of the time. That applies to the music industry. It also applies to all the boys that never thought I was attractive in high school. I had a real visual in my mind when I was writing that one. When I sing What a Feeling, hanging off the building, I picture people going on to their 9-to-5 jobs in their corporate suits, and they're just hanging from skyscrapers by the edge of their fingertips, smiling and thinking, I might just let go. Ooh, yeah. That kind of like, I'm always on the edge, and you know what, one day I might just let go. Yeah, oh my god, that's awesome, brilliant song. Especially now I've read like into what the lyrics are about too, just makes it even more special. Oh, okay, this is going so good. I'm loving this so much. I had no idea, because obviously I heard those 2 songs by Allie X and really liked them, Science and God of the Year, really liked them. However, because I didn't listen to an album or anything like that, they went to the wayside a little bit. So now I'm listening to this, I'm like, oh my gosh, like how did I let this go for so long? It's crazy, but I'm here now. I'm probably at a time where I need it most, so. I do feel like that with the album sometimes. I'm like, every time I listen to them, I'm like, you know what? This is weirdly the right time, kind of like what I was mentioning earlier. But anyway, let's move on. Next one is called Sarah, Come Home. I love that.
Change her. I never tried to.
I love the kind of pizzicato strings.
Look for a bookstore that you run away to. Leave little traces. I left a light on for you, Sarah. Won't you come home? Do you hold me again? I'm talking to you, so you know you're never alone. Come home.
It's like tropical 80s, a bit LaRue.
Told me.
Oh, and I'm back to that. Those pizzicato string moments.
For that cause now I see it.
And it starts to like build up here. It's a dance, it's a bop. It is. I love when she does that. And then you could just really lean into this beat. The vocal layers. Mono. It was like reverb. No reverb. It's so summery, this one. You can really feel like an American neighborhood. But then it has like a tropical feel too, where you're like, oh, it's like a neighborhood in Hawaii. Okay, interesting. I'd say like that's my least favourite. However, I can't say I didn't like it. I really liked it. It's just not my favourite of the ones that I've heard so far. I don't have a favourite yet, but that one won't be it. But I absolutely loved the sound. It was really bright and happy, honestly. I didn't really catch the lyrics as I was going. And also when you say Sarah come home, I don't know who Sarah is, so I guess I'm not like trying to follow the lyrics, because I'm like, you know when you like are reading a sentence and a word pops up that you don't understand, so you start reading that sentence from the beginning again and again and again. Well, obviously you mention someone's name like Sarah and you just don't know who they are. It's kind of like that. You kind of go, I don't know what that is. Therefore I'm just can't really clock this whole thing. I don't understand what's going on. Oh wow, just listen to the music. It's kind of what happened. I'm interested in it though. I wonder if there's an about section, because I'll definitely read that. I feel like it was really cute though, like honestly really cute. And I couldn't work out the tropical beat, because it'd be like dun 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 dun, and then it goes I couldn't tell if it was like an offbeat. I don't think it was, but it felt that tropical beat felt like there's a little bit of a, maybe there's a swing in it or something, some movement that changed that I really liked. I don't know whether it just meant like the drums hit on the 2 and the 4, you know, and with like little other, like the kick, you know, like the kick would hit on the 2 and the 4, and something else came in. I don't know, but like I like the change up of the rhythms. That was fun. Okay, anyway. There's a songwriter, Sarah Hudson, who's known for writing Dark Horse for Katy Perry. She was supposed to come to this session and she had to cancel at the last minute. So we were just joking around in the room and being like, Sarah, come home. And I was like, wait a second, that's actually a really good lyric for this world that I'm currently building. The song isn't directly about something that happened to me. I didn't have a friend named Sarah that ran away and couldn't find her, but I did have friends that felt lost. And I wanted to help them. And I also relate to the feeling of not being able to fit in with my family. I think I was musing on what my family had been feeling when I was nowhere to be found. And I had one friend in high school who was so dear to me. We were just like sisters. I had so much love in my heart for her, and I still do. And so I put those feelings into the song as well. It's kind of like a weird mixture of a bunch of things that just fit perfectly in this world. Oh, so it's so much deeper than the sound of it. Yeah, again, but this one even more so, you'd think it would have like barely any significance at all, just with how bright that like kind of sound was. But no, it actually is quite deep. And I had one friend in high school who was so dear to me. We were just like sisters. I had so much love in my heart for her, and I still do. And so I put those feelings into the song as well. It's kind of like a weird mixture of a bunch of things that just fit perfectly in this world. Oh, so it's so much deeper than the sound of it. Yeah, again, but this one even more so, you'd think it would have like barely any significance at all, just with how bright that like kind of sound was. But no, it actually is quite deep. So it really is just a story. I can't wait to listen to it again and really read the lyrics properly and be like, follow the story and with a bit more understanding. Beautiful. Okay, but anyway, next song is called Rings a Bell. Oh, I guess like saying, you know what, that rings a bell. Like, it kind of is familiar. I feel like it's going to be something around that.
It's so hard to find.
Ooh.
It takes a certain place, a certain time.
Okay, let's get Voguey up in here.
Like you, a trick of the light. And maybe you're a diamond in the dark. I go around my heart, my heart, my heart.
Oh, I love that.
It's true. Thrown in, I'm open. Ooh, the way you move, it rings a bell. The way it casts a spell, as if you knew me well. Must have been a reason for this feeling, 'cause it rings
Oh, fun melody. Very like Wizards of Waverly Place melody. So cool.
One revolving door, a distant rebel yell. I'm thrown in.
Oh, Billy Idol reference.
I'm torn hits. The way you move, it rings a bell. The way you stare, it casts a spell. As if you knew me well.
I love it.
'Cause in your arms I feel so sure. Must have been a reason for this feeling, 'cause it rings a bell.
Oh my god, it's so fun. What a catchy hook. Oh, that backing vocal.
The way you move, it rings a bell. The way you stare, it casts a spell. There's been a reason for this feeling, 'cause it rings a bell. 'Cause we're dead, we've been here before.
It's got a real disco feel.
'Cause it rings a bell. It rings a bell. Don't you know it rings a bell? Must be a reason for this feeling. 'Cause it rings a bell. It rings a bell.
Oh, how fun. That one was so cool. It had like that nice disco-y feeling and a very purple feeling, colour, sorry, to me, with that disco. And it gave me Vogue as well with the chords that we used, or notes that we used. And then Wizards of Waverly Place, must have been a feeling. I never even really watched that show, but it had like, I felt like the theme tune was kind of cool. I don't even remember it, but I know it was kind of cool. And it had like a sound that reminded me of that for some reason. Disco-y feeling and a very purple feeling, colour, sorry, to me, with that disco. And it gave me Vogue as well with the chords that we used, or notes that we used. And then Wizards of Waverly Place, must have been a feeling. I never even really watched that show, but it had like, I felt like the theme tune was kind of cool. I don't even remember it, but I know it was kind of cool. And it had like a sound that reminded me of that for some reason.
Also, just wanted to mention that, like, throughout the whole song, bells were chiming, and I didn't even mention it. I think I, like, you know, realised it when I was listening to it, definitely. I mean, how can you not? But, like, I didn't, like, mention it, I guess, because it was just so obvious or whatever. I don't know. But I was like, oh, that's actually really cool.
But yeah, it was like, the song was about what I thought, like this kind of like, it rings a bell, something's familiar. And it's cool how she says like, the way you move, it rings a bell, the way you stare, it casts a spell. As if you knew me well, you know, like the way you are feels like you've known me my whole life, almost like a soulmate. But this song I do also believe is a bit more of a fun one that isn't too serious. I love how she has a distant rebel yell as well. That reminds me of Billy Idol. In the midnight hour, she cries more, 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 with a rebel yell. Yeah, that's interesting. I just really like that. It had like a real fun kind of like catwalk moment, disco feeling. You could really boogie and get down to that. It's also kind of sexy. So I don't know, it's just got a nice feeling to it. Really good to have like on song 6 of the album too. Middle of the album, literally. A break from maybe some of the deeper lyrics. It's just cute, I don't know. This was another thing I'd written in my notes on my iPhone for years. And I told Oscar that I wanted to do something that has a swing in it. Yeah, okay, cool. Like Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears, The Way You Make Me Feel by Michael Jackson. And Oscar was like, oh, it's so hard to make that sound cool. And I was like, just try it. And sure enough, he did. When the chorus comes in and suddenly you've got all this percussion going on, it's really impactful. Lyrically, it's one of the more light-hearted songs on the record. Yeah, it's about nostalgia and infatuation, written from the perspective of somebody, me, I guess, meeting someone for the first time and feeling hopefulness and possibility it could go somewhere. And interesting that he's saying like, oh, you know, a swing beat is really hard to make sound good. But I actually quite love a swing beat, you know. A swing beat can really like add a nice like sway to the song that makes you fit in nicely with it. Like you can feel like you're swinging and swaying with it. It's less hard, it's less aggressive. It's a bit more of like a well, like this song was. It felt like Virgo's Groove by Beyonce as well. Like, not exactly like it, but it gave me the same purple disco-y feel. Bling, ding, ding. Yeah, similar, because it also was like, I don't know, it had a sultry disco feeling as well. Maybe a little bit Dua Lipa too. I haven't had a lot from Dua Lipa, but what I know, it kind of reminded me of that too. But yeah, no, I loved it. I really loved it. It was so fun. It was just fun and super pop. And we all just love a bit of pop now and then, don't we? Not now and then, I like it all the time. I like all sorts. Well, I think you know that by now. But anyway, next one is called June Gloom. Interesting, so it's a bit of like a, kind of reminds me of summertime sadness. So I wonder if it will have that kind of essence of sadness in summer. I don't know, let's have a listen and find out. It seems pretty happy so far.
1, 2, idle. Oh, I'm in a spiral. Take me for a Sunday drive.
Oh, cute!
Free time for memories, places I'll never be. No, why? June gloom in my room. These days I like to
The
stay
tension in that.
inside. June gloom. Oh, doom, doom. And
Ooh.
we're, so put up your hands and say June gloom. What a beautiful sadness.
Oh, I love it!
Season passes.
Nothing is legato. Everything is a stab, staccato, apart from her vocals.
Clear blue sky and all the stars are dying, like everyone that I'll ever know.
Oh, very Billie
Free
Eilish.
time for memory. No, why? June gloom. In my June. Oh, doom, doom.
Yeah.
We're feeling a bit decay. So put up your hands and say June. What a beautiful sadness.
The vocals in the background too. I love that ba ba ba. Oh, oh. Oh, let's get funky. Ooh, sound like Lana there. So many people I keep mentioning. Oh, I like that. Da-da-da. Oh, that's so cute. Do you know what? That one was really fun. I love how rhythmic it all was. And then the vocals, you know, being legato, like I said. And also, sorry if I am throwing out words that you might not know. I feel like sometimes I explain them so much in other videos, and obviously not everyone watches every video because it might not be an artist you like. But I don't know. Legato means when notes are like, la. You know, it's all together in one. They kind of smoothly glide into each other. Whereas a staccato would be like, la, 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 la. Okay, so they're not together and they're just like stabs of vocal. And that was happening in this. Ba, 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 ba. And like the din, 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 din. I don't know what that was, but you know what I mean. Very rhythmic and cool. And then also, when I say mono, I mean like all the instruments or the singing at least or whatever feels very in the center. It's dry, there's not usually any reverb on it. There can be reverb on it, actually that's not true, like I lied right there. But when something is obviously mono, it normally sounds very like dry and it feels like in the center, so it very much is here. Whereas stereo, you can hear instruments on this side, you can hear instruments on that side, the reverb is spaced out, all the mix is spaced out into both ears, whereas mono is very much centered. There's no like moving away sort of thing. Also, I mentioned pizzicato earlier, which is like a staccato with like a plucking instrument. Bloop, 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 bloop. So yeah. Okay, just in case no one knew and were being like annoyed, whatever. And also, I keep mentioning, it reminded me of this, it reminded me of Lana, or it reminded me of Billie, or it reminded me of, you know, all these different things. But I think that's brilliant about pop, is that like they all are inspired by one another, and you could really see who was inspired by what and how beautiful and connecting music is, and how inspiration is just so fantastic like that. Everyone has a favourite, everyone has like an artist they really love, even artists that we listen to who are famous love certain artists and not take from them in a bad way, but definitely get inspired by them, and it's just beautiful. So it's really fun to hear things go, that reminds me of that. And if you've seen my videos before, you know I love Billie Eilish, you know I love Lana, so it can never go wrong when I say that. But anyway, it was kind of about exactly what I was saying. June, Gloom, you know, and it was super funky the way it was made too, and you could easily be like, and she was doing like little ad-libs that felt very soulful as well, which I loved. She says, that song has a bit of soul in it. It does. We found a really cool drum loop for it. There's a lot of sarcasm in it, even in the name, June Gloom. It's sort of poking fun at itself. I picture that being written from my bedroom window, looking out at the street at a bunch of cool kids smoking, being hot and flirting with each other, and not being able to participate at all, and being stuck in bed and just kind of making fun of the whole situation. Oh, interesting. So maybe she's saying she's stuck in bed because of her kind of social anxieties, or maybe it could just also be being ill as well. In a way, this is quite a teenagery song. I wonder how old Allie X is actually. She's 37? Damn! Because this felt like a bit of a teenagery song, you know, a bit of like a, you know, looking out and being like, oh, look at them all having fun and I'm stuck in here. You know, maybe it's kind of going back to those years as well though, you know, and bringing it out of her for this album too. I don't know, I love that. She sounds so cute as well, like literally cute as anything. Oh, interesting. Looking at the comments here, someone said autoimmune disease sufferers, put your hands in the air. Ah, that like actually makes a lot of sense in that way too. Like this could be relatable to a lot of people who just aren't able to go outside, and also it hits really different when you're in quarantine. Yeah, that's another comment that I just read. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons why someone can't go outside and they want to be outside, especially when it's sunny, and that feeling is so, it's like with the depression I'm feeling at the moment, seeing the sun outside makes you feel worse sometimes. It makes you feel guilty or like you're missing out, but there's not much you could do about it because you can't even get the strength to go out and enjoy it. So yeah, June Gloom, I get that. Okay, next song is called Love Me Wrong.
You love me, you put me to bed.
Getting more of a ballady style one in a way.
You tell me I'm special,
Radiohead.
so special, but you love me wrong.
Very Lana. Oh, Troye Sivan. I've never heard any Troye Sivan.
Cause I'm there in your wallet and your locket, sitting on the stairs. Talk about me in the kitchen. You didn't know I was listening, but I was there.
Wow, the crescendo. Oh, and a telephone vocal. Oh. Okay, quite a short song in a way. Actually, some of them have, a lot of them have been not like too long, but this one was felt short. I guess because it just went in like one kind of direction, you know, and with a big crescendo and then ends, it felt short. Okay, sweet though. And you know, that drum that came in, and you'd hear little scutters of, you know, little bits, and then the would come in kind of like after a whole bar, or maybe 2 bars even. I was trying to count it and I was like, that could be 2 bars, but I'm not sure. I'm not completely versed in all of that. But no, that was interesting to me. And then like the telephone vocal, I call it a telephone vocal. It's one of those vocals that sound like you're talking through the telephone. And to end it like that feels weirdly intimate, and it always reminds me of trying to communicate like that because it's a telephone vocal. It feels like you're having a private conversation with someone, which I think was really cute. This is the lyrics. Oh, you love me, you put me to bed, yeah, you love me, dress me to the nines, yeah, you love me, you tell me I'm special, so special, that reminded me of Radiohead. I know you love me because you want the best, but you love me wrong. Yeah, you love me wrong. And that's interesting, just the whole thing, like, you can be loved, you can be liked, but when you're loved, but in the wrong way, and like, that can be many things. Maybe it could just be like, I love you for the way you look, or I love you for how you make me feel, or I love you because you're hardworking. You know, some of those things might not be what the other person wants to be loved for. Most people want to be loved for pretty much everything, you know, they want to be loved for all the reasons, even the good and the bad, they still want to be loved for it. And also, it's the way people show love, like, you love me wrong. Maybe she doesn't want to be put to bed and being dressed up to the nines, or being told she's special, and you know, maybe she doesn't want to be the best or whatever. And there's, in some ways, I feel like she's talking to herself as well, like, you is herself, like, you put me to bed and you dress me up, but you know, you're loving me wrong. Like, that's not the real love I need like a deeper love. I don't know, but either way, when someone loves you in a way that you don't want them to, that can build a lot of resentment. And it can be like, you don't love me in a way that shows real empathy, compassion, and whatever. You love me for you. Right, Troy Sivan says, oh, you love me, you lose sleep over me. I know you love me because I'm there in your wallet and your locket. I heard you talk about me in the kitchen. You didn't know I was listening, but I was there sitting on the stairs. Talk about me in the kitchen. You didn't know I was listening, but I was there, and that isn't fair. Oh. And then it goes on to, yeah, you love me wrong, you love me wrong. You know, very much the same, like, you don't love me in the right way. Sorry, the sun is going in and out from behind the clouds, so it's kind of like funny lighting. And then, I'll never be how you remember me, so I'd rather be in your memory. So I'll never be how you remember me, so I'd rather be in your memory. Oh, it's like, you know, you love a version of me that isn't me anymore. So I'd rather end this and just be a beautiful memory. You can have that version of me, but I'm changing now. Okay, maybe. Let's have a look though. Love Me Wrong is a very personal song for me, which deals with the confusion and hurt associated with familial love. Oh, okay. So it's nothing to do with romantic love at all. Oh, let me have a skim through the lyrics just to try and like understand it that way. Yeah, you put me to bed, you know, like you do to a child. You dress me up and make me look pretty. You tell me I'm so special. I know you love me because you want the best. And maybe it's like all the things that our parents do, you know, like put you to bed, but then dress you up to nines and tell you you're special. I don't know, that's interesting too. Like, why? I guess it's just saying like all those things are what parents do, but it's not the only way to show love. There's so many other ways you could show love as a parent, which is supporting me, listening to me, giving me good and wise advice, being there for when I need to talk to someone, and so on. And then you lose sleep over me because I'm there in your wallet, like your picture in their wallet and your locket. You know, you love me so much. I heard you talk about me in the kitchen. You didn't know I was listening. And that's kind of like hard. Like maybe talking about them, maybe not in such a bright way, maybe in more of a negative way. Like, oh, you know, she's just not doing this, or he's not doing that, or I'm a bit worried about them because they're not listening, or, you know, maybe saying something mean. And the parents knew that the narrator was there, but they just, quite honestly, sorry about the whole change of lighting there, but they didn't care, and maybe that really damaged the narrator. Maybe it made them feel it's something they took with them for life. I understand that. I really do. I really, really do. And then I'll never be how you remember me. Like the child that maybe succumbed to every demand, the child who was good and said yes and was polite and so on. Now I'm a different person who is my own person. So I'd rather kind of not talk to you again or see you again so you can keep that memory of me. Wow, how the song has changed. It went from something deep but relatively generic to something deeper. And yes, generic because it happens all the time, but I guess relatable for many people on a more personal soul level, something that's a little bit difficult too, you know, to talk about. Talking about an old lover, you know, yeah, it can be difficult, but it's not like as painful as what, you know, family trauma can bring you. Allie X then goes on to say, mostly taken from feelings I had when I was younger, this is a song about being misunderstood by the ones closest to you. You know that they love you, but you feel it isn't for the full person you are. And that's something I was mentioning earlier. Like, you love parts. This person might like parts of you, but not the full person. And everyone wants to be loved for the full version, don't they? Anyway, the relationship between a parent and child is so intense and layered, and it was liberating to put it into the simple phrase, you love me wrong. And repeat it over and over in the chorus. I hope that those of you dealing with similar feelings can find solace in this song. Unbelievable. It really is a simple phrase, but so effective. You love me wrong. I know you love me, but it's not the way do you know what? I fucking just get it so much. I get it. And if you're a patron, you can watch my video which is called Trauma Dumping, and you can find out how much I get it in that video. But yeah, you love me, but not in the way that I want you to love me. Not in the way that I love. I want you to love me the way that I love the things I love. Because I feel like all we are is a big projection. Every person is a projection, right? I wanted a certain type of love so much that I do project that love onto others around me. We all project what we want back. When you're kind to people, it's because you just want a bit of kindness. It's pretty crazy, actually. Yeah, I get that. That's deep as fuck. Hit me in the feels. Beautiful. Nice. Right, I'm just going to go get another little drinky drink. I've actually been sat here for an hour and 38 minutes. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs left. I'm having so much fun with this one, but I can't believe I've been doing it for this long. I've got myself a scone as well. Or some people like to call it a scone. I think I've bounced in between. I've called it like scone throughout my life. I've called it scone. At the moment, I'm in my scone phase. But yeah, it's just a bit peckish, as I am always. But yeah, it's actually getting a bit chilly now that the sun's going down. So I might actually... Does anyone else do this? I mean, I don't know if you've got a onesie or anything, but like, what I love doing with onesies is like bringing it down to your waist or your hips, whatever's more comfortable. And I like to zip it up to that bit and then tie the sleeves around like this. And it feels like you've got a really nice snug pair of trousers on. And it doesn't feel as like overwhelming as wearing like a full onesie all done up like this. Because sometimes you could just feel a little bit like you're a bit claustrophobic. You know what I mean? Anyway, let me just eat this little scone. I get it all on my lips. Oh well. Maybe I'll put on the next song while I do it. I'm trying not to talk with my mouth open. Like I'm doing right now. But subtly. Okay, let's go. Super duper party people. Oh, you're right about that.
The man to the left with beer on his breath, with his hands in a bowl of nuts. There with a Siamese cat and a really, really bouncy butt. Sing, laughing, dancing, getting their ducks in a row. Ooh, all the girls and the boys on the dance floor. Drink a little velvet so you get into the beat. Become a super freak with a super duper, with a party troopers. 'Cause that's what party poopers. Rockabilly kiss. But I don't really care 'cause I got purple hair and they don't miss bliss. Play the next chord. Drink a little velvet so you get into the beat. Don't stop the music. I don't wanna lose it. All I've got is music. Don't stop the music. Don't stop the music. I don't wanna lose it.
It has a synthetic kind of clap. That's funny. I didn't notice that before. Did it? Was it there before? Oh, Love the way that ends. I literally, even I was eating a scone most of the time, I literally loved that song. That was so much fun. It actually kind of reminded me of Poppy. Girls in bikinis. Girls in bikinis on roller skates, or whatever the rest of it is. But it reminded me of that a little bit. Just that kind of like funky, again, disco vibe. I also loved the kind of, I couldn't mention it at the time because I had like scone like literally in crevices of my mouth everywhere. Okay, so I was like, but anyway, I love how it's like na 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 na, like, or I'm the king of the castle and you're the dirty rascals, super duper little body troopers. It's literally like reminiscent of that, but just so fun. It's like a little taunt and being like, we love partying. We don't need no bag of ice because that's for party poopers. I guess it's like we won't cool down, you know. We're going to stay hot. We're going to keep partying. We're going to get a sweat on, and we're never going to cool down. We're never going to stop. And she even says something like, don't stop the music. I don't want to lose it. You know, like if you stop the music, I'll lose the vibe I'm in. Like, you know, the place you're in, I don't know if you do, but like when you're dancing to just live music and you're just really letting yourself go, or it could be in your living room with your stereo or whatever on, and you could just be losing it like this, but like, you don't want to lose that because it's such a beautiful release, isn't it? And if it stops, it feels so jarring. But my mind's polluted. All I've got is the music. So maybe there she's saying it could be a double. It could be like a more sweeter way. It could be like my mind's polluted in the sense that I'm drinking alcohol, so I'm feeling a little bit loose. Or maybe my mind's polluted with dark thoughts, and all I've got is the music to save me, to bring me out of myself and to like forget about all those dark thoughts and just have fun. And I just loved it when it went into the don't stop the music, and it was like ding, 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 acoustic guitar of it. Again, it reminded me of like a million different things, maybe a little bit even of the B-52s, just for like the fun element of it too. I don't know, it gave me so much. And I just loved the way she sang the verses, so quirky, really cute. I don't know, I just love this one so much. I mean, I love them all, honestly, but this one was like, I don't know, it's one that you can put on at any time and it's just always going to be a bop. Oh, it says here, so Allie has said, I've never had a song like this where I've performed it before its release and it gets the biggest response of my set. It makes sense though, it's a party song, it's a song for dancing and letting loose. But it's so cool that it wasn't even released yet and people just loved it. They knew it, like, oh, I hope she plays that song, I hope she plays that song. Will it be on the album? I could just imagine, you know, all the discussions being had before actually this album came out and how excited the fans were when it did come out and this song was on it. Anyway, it wasn't written specifically for Cape God. My boyfriend and I were driving home from Niagara? Oh, it is spelled like that. Anyway, okay, so Niagara. Yeah, we were coming home from Niagara. Where am I? And we were just joking around. He said, you should write a song called Super Duper Party People. I was like, oh my God, I love that. And then I just blackburned the idea. Cut to me in Denmark on a writing trip a year later, and my iTunes is on shuffle, and this loop comes on that Ollie Goldstein had sent me. And I was like, oh my God, this is Super Duper Party People. So I was Skyping with my boyfriend that night, and I was so jet lagged that we were laughing so much, and I wrote this whole rap over it. And that's what the verses are. Julius, the guy who manages the studio in Sweden, came in to do backup vocals, and that inspired me to sing in a more Swedish way, like super duper. Oh yeah, super ba, chupa ba, lights will always find you, like ABBA. I didn't even clock that. And of course, this song doesn't sound anything like Super, you know, Super Trooper or whatever it is called, but it definitely is paying homage to that in some way, especially like she was saying the Swedish way, super duper rather than super duper. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Oh my God, I love this one so much. I love like the light behind it as well. It is like fun and silly. Oh, cute. Okay. Anyway, next one is called Susie, Save Your Love. Oh no, we've got another name one. Let's see if I follow.
Susie needs a ride. She's way too drunk to drive the sea. Oh no, she's waiting for no one. Save your love.
That funkiness. the guitar.
You don't have to be a part-time Susie. Take mine from me.
Cute. Oh.
Susie, save your life.
Say in a minute.
Riding shotgun, saying that
The aspirate tone, very airy tone is what that means. Just,
to sleep.
ooh, wait, sleep.
Up and down the street.
Very, ooh, mature.
She's waiting for no one. Save your love.
Oh, with Mitski.
Part-time Susie, take mine from me.
Oh. Mitski's another one that I have reacted to and you can view on Patreon. Can't help but have a jam sometimes, especially when it's so like funky and fun. I really like that one too, and there's not been a song that I've gone, there's been literally no song where I thought, I don't really like this. No. Every song has been actually really good and I really liked. I didn't know I liked that disco sound this much, like that funky kind of disco sound. I didn't know I liked it that much. Also had a very 80s pop sound with the synths too. Gosh. She's making me fall in love with many different sounds. And Mitski was in there somewhere. I couldn't tell who was saying what really, but she was in there. She was in there. And yeah, I have reacted to Mitski on Patreon. I haven't put it on YouTube. I would love to at some point, but it is on Patreon Uncut if you wanted to go watch that. Yeah, so who's Susie? You know, is this Allie X saying that she is bisexual? Or is Susie a metaphor? You know what I mean? I don't know. Says here, Susie needs a ride. She's way too drunk to drive. But oh, she's such a sight to see. Marshall is the problem. She's been trying to solve him. Someone needs to set her free. So it's like storytelling once again that she's done already in a few songs, but being like, Susie and Marshall are just both characters of this story, and she's saying, you know, Susie's got all drunk, oh, she's a sight to see, but Marshall is the one that's, you know, caused this mess. He's been driving her around the bend and she's been trying to solve him. I can fix him, you know, and like someone needs to set her free. And then it says here, oh, my kitten is screaming, come say hello to our friends. This is Oblio, but I won't go too much into who Oblio is, because I'll do a proper video soon. But anyway, save your love for someone like me. You don't have to be a part-time. Susie, save your love and take mine from me. You don't have to be a part-time. Save your love. Interesting, basically just being like, you know, you don't have to be a part-time lover. This person is like yo-yoing, you know, being like, yes, I want you to, I don't want you. Yes, I want you, I don't want you. Like, you don't need that kind of stuff. And take the love from me. Maybe as a friend as well. Maybe just like a, you know, I love you. This love is real. This love will never leave you. It's consistent. It's loyal. Like, this is the type of love you need. And you can always have that from me. But it could also be in a romantic way too. Maybe it could be like a, you know, I love you. I would never do that to you in a romantic way. Then it says, oh, Mitski is in verse 2. Oh, she sounded like, hang on. I was like, ooh, she sounds good, right? I'm pretty sure I even mentioned the vocals being like, wow, that sounds cool. But I didn't notice it was Mitski. Oh, that's it. That makes so much sense now, actually, because I was like, oh, hang on, I've not heard this mature tone. She says she's not ready to sleep. That was quite different to what we've heard, obviously, from Allie X. So, yes, we've heard similar tones for sure, but the very airy and a sleep, very soulful and doing a bit more of an open E throat. Obviously that sounds so funny when you do it like that, but mixed in with the blends of other things that can sound quite beautiful. It's actually incorporating a slight bit of a cry tone, and a cry tone kind of opens the throat like, oh yeah. You know, it has that bit of an emotional oh, but used here, sleep. It gives it so much soul and deepness, you know, a deepness that isn't really there, but it is. I don't know, it just sounded gorgeous. But I remember really picking out the little moments in that verse, and that's funny. Yeah, it makes sense that that was Mitski. And I guess I was also familiar with it in some way. But yeah, oh, beautiful. Anyway, she says, Susie's riding shotgun, saying that I'm no fun. Says she's not ready to sleep. Marshall makes her angry, so she's going to make me drive her up and down the street. That's quite funny, actually. Being like, she's obviously drunk. She's riding shotgun, so she's up in front, saying that I'm no fun. Being like, you're no fun, come on. You know, she's obviously just drunk. And obviously Mitski, Allie X are like the, what do they call it? Designated driver. That's it. Yeah, and driving up and down the street. It's like, ugh, we don't need to be doing this, but, you know, you're not giving me an option, you drunken fool. But obviously the narrator's saying, but save your love for someone like me. I hate seeing you like this, basically. According to Allie X, the song is about being in love with your best friend and she's dating a guy you don't like. Plain and simple. A tale as old as time. Yeah, I get it. She also says here, I discovered Mitski's music a couple of years ago and was instantly smitten. She has such a singular voice. It was so authentic, so sad, so relatable. Absolutely. Mitski's taking a break from the music industry at the moment. She's not on social media, she's not touring, and so when I asked her to sing on the track, she was like, I love this song so much, but I'm saying no to every feature right now. But then one day I was flying somewhere, and when I landed, there was a text from Mitski saying, hey, no pressure, but if you still want me to do the feature on the song, I think I would like to do it. And I was like, oh my God, yes. She doesn't really do features, so I feel very lucky. Susie Save Your Love is a song about being in love with your best friend and she's dating a guy you don't like. And you know he doesn't treat her right and you just want to scoop her up and save her. Totally get it. I'm being climbed right now. Nice. Okay, so the next song is called Life of the Party. I wonder if it will be another kind of party song like Super Duper Party People or not. I don't know. It might be weird to have that, like, you know, Susie Save Your Life squashed between two party songs. I don't know. Hopefully I can focus with him in here. Okay, Life of the Party.
I made so many friends last night.
Oh, her voice is gorgeous.
So clever when I'm tipsy, even when I know it out.
Oh.
That made me feel like sad. Fantastic things could happen. What's the life of the party? They wrote that out with a Sharpie. That was the main attraction.
I feel like this is sad.
But I don't remember anything. What's the life? 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 What's the life of the party? Swear to God, I know myself. There's more to me than quiet. I scratch my face with stop it. I woke up on the shuttle, singing. Oh, what's the life? What's the life of the party?
Oh, I love how like kind of moody that is.
What's the life? 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 I'll never forget, but I don't wanna forget. Hope I'll never forget.
I love that phaser on her voice.
You struck me down like a Barbie. They say I kissed the king, but I don't remember anything. Oh, what's the life? 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 What's the life of the party?
Oh, that is so nice. What a cool song. What a cool album, man. This is sick.
Hope I'll never forget.
Oh, okay. Interesting. It's almost like it feels like dark. It feels sad, but it feels fun too, saying I was the life of the party. But there's something about it makes me feel like, are you saying that in a good way or a bad way? Like, is it like, I was the life of the party, right? So I'm just gonna go off like just that lyric alone. You know, saying I was the life of the party means like I used to go out and have fun, and I used to be bright and bubbly and out there and charismatic and exciting, but now I don't go out and I don't really feel happy anymore. I don't, you know, have a lot in me to give. But also it could be like I was the life of the party because maybe she would drink too much or whatever, you know, be crazy, act really fun, like maybe it was brilliant but she had to stop because it was killing her, you know, or maybe it was harming her inevitably, which is totally understandable. So yeah, just that lyric alone is cool. It doesn't have a lot said here. Oh no, it does. So what the artists have said about the song. Oh, good boy, you're playing with your toy. I'm kind of, this is kind of good. Like, I know it seems a bit silly that I'm doing the video and just leaving him to himself, because you've got to keep a close eye on kittens, you really do. But it's kind of nice that when I'm doing this, he is just playing. Like, yes, he might come over to me and try and attack me, but this is kind of cool too. This is one of the last songs written for Cape God. It's based on the idea of being at a party or in a social setting and being completely inebriated to the point where you come out of your shell and you feel like you're part of the group. But at the same time, there's a part of you, even in your state, that knows you're not and that you're actually being made fun of. Oh no, I don't like that. It's not like everything that I'm saying in the song happened to me. I took it really far. Like, there are implications of SA, but I don't think there's a song like this right now. Yeah, I kind of get that too, what she was saying about like the stubble and stuff and kissing the king and she doesn't remember. Like, if you don't remember, you probably weren't in the state to be kissing anyone. Yeah, I get that. Look at that sun shining in now. Let the light shine in. But I don't think there's a song like this right now. I want to write something for anyone who's been put in that position, whether it's being kicked when you're down or being taken advantage of. There's also some bliss in it, which makes it even more complicated. I've definitely had that feeling where I was like, I'm completely destroying myself here, but at least I'm feeling something. Oh god, that light's shining in too much. I mean, thanks, but no thanks. Yeah, exactly. Like, where you're completely destroying yourself, but at least you're feeling something. Yeah, exactly what I was saying. When maybe she used to be in a place where she would drink too much, and it was fun, but it wasn't good for her. But yeah, I didn't even clock onto the SA thing, even though I did hear the whole of a bit about, you know, they stripped me down like a Barbie. They say I kissed a king, but I don't remember anything. Oh, that's dark, actually. Maybe being stripped down like a Barbie, like, I thought it might mean like strip me down like in a more of a metaphoric way, but maybe it meant quite literally like I'm just an object. They just pulled those clothes off of me as if I was, you know, just an object, which is awful. These lines are some of the most prominent lyrics where the dark side of being the life of the party shines through. As Allie X told Apple Music, they hint at SA. It's so sad, actually. Yeah, Barbie doll clothes are made with Velcro or elastic so children can easily take them off and change the dolls, but here it takes on a heavier meaning of consent being violated while the narrator was in a shaky mindset. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then obviously the Aqua song, you could brush my hair and dress me everywhere, imagination, life is your creation. Interesting. So being the life of the party might not have been about charisma or anything like that, and more just like I was the joke of the party. I was, you know, the one that people laughed at. She says I was the main attraction, you know? Oh, it's so sad. And it reminds me of being young as well, like those things happening when you're young, for sure, and very, very, very naive, and that's where you can easily be taken advantage of. And relatable. Very relatable for a lot of women and a lot of girls, absolutely. So I really think it's so important that she wrote this song, and seeing the deeper meaning and so on, I fully see it now. It's weird, I didn't really think about it at the time, but but I clocked it. Like, they say I kissed a king, but I don't remember anything. I guess I was just listening to the music in the song. Like I told you earlier, I don't always catch the lyrics on like a deep level. I hear them, I can sing them, but I'm not like actually feeling them. But now I'm like, oh, yeah, I see that. Okay, next one is called Madam X. He loves my, so now I showed off like my other onesie earlier. Well, it's like another onesie. He loves it. I think he thinks it's his mum, because he is doing like, you know, the paws on it and then doing little bites on it now and then. But he loves it and it makes me happy and he purrs when he's on it, so it's totally fine. I don't care if you pour it to pieces if it makes you happy. Well, I do, but you know, it's a nice thing to say. This video has gone through every lighting shade that you could get because it's a cloudy day, but the sun is still out. The sun, I thought had gone down, but actually it's just clouds in front of it. And it's just, this video lighting is going to be a little bit insane, but there's going to be some beautiful moments. But there's going to be some pretty rough ones too. But anyway, let's do it. Madam X, I can't believe how long I've been filming for. 2 hours and 20 minutes for a 43-minute album. What the hell? There's definitely more talking than listening. Let's go.
Come into my room with me and wrap me up.
Oh, jazzy.
Nothing too much. Get into my head with me. Stop. I wanna be more like you. Till it's just us two.
Oh, beautiful.
Adam X, take my money, my self-respect.
The strings.
When you come around.
Chills. Seb Delisa style strings.
Madam X, you fill me up with your emptiness, and I'm keeping you to myself.
Wow. I got too many chills on my
Leave me
face.
like a wave, let the water pour, so soft and pure you,
Oh.
more like the distant. Madam X, I'm nothing worth.
It feels like it's about drugs. The way I hit my chest and it went. That's powerful. And that being the penultimate track as well, like, wow, deep, romantic, but romanticized, right? So romantic with the strings, very like, oh, like jazzy, very romantic. But the context, like the contents of the song lyrically, oh, damn, let's get into it. Come into my room with me and wrap me up. I love your touch. I mean, I don't know if it's relating to drugs yet, but let me read it as if it is for me, and we'll see in the end what it's really about. So that's kind of like saying, you know, come into my room with me, let's go somewhere private and wrap me up. I love your touch, and the touch being the high. I love that like blanket of like security you give me. Come into my room with me and make it stop. Make all the pain stop. Climb into my bed with me and let's curl up. I think too much. Get into my head with me and make it stop. Just stop all the pain, stop all the thoughts, stop all the stress. Absolutely, this is what it's like. That's what it's like. I want to be more like you. You're the frost in bloom. Cover the East Coast blue till it's just us two. You know, I want to be more like you in the sense of like, I want to be you. Like, you don't have to worry about anything. You are pleasure and heaven itself. You will always be that. And all I have is like a piece of you that runs out, but you are everything. And she's saying, make more like the frost in bloom, cover the East Coast blue, you know, making it sound so romantic till it's just us two, you know, do all those things until we can just bond and collide together and you can take me away from this pain. And then Madam X, I don't know what Madam X means, but I feel like it's going to relate to some sort of drug. Take my money, my self-respect. You know, take my money, I'm going to pay for you and take my self-respect. You know, I don't feel great when I'm buying you. I feel like I'd rather quit, but you know, here I am. You can take what you want from me. I'm ready for you. When you come around, nothing hurts. And no, of course it won't. You're being totally numbed, especially in my case, if it, and maybe hers, if it's a painkiller, do I have to say anything else? Painkiller. We don't just feel physical pain. We feel mental pain too. It does that. It kills that. You and me, we don't need no words. Yeah, we don't even need to communicate. We know the agreement. We know what's happening. You exist, I take you, you do your magic, and we understand. I'm going to feel better at this point. I feel good. There's no communication involved. We just get each other. Whew, this is really beautifully written. I'm sorry. I just had to take a moment to just say that because wow. Okay. It's just so, it's hitting me. Madam X, you fill me up with your emptiness. You do get euphoria, but it's still emptiness in the long term. It's a feeling of, I don't really give a shit. Whatever happens, it's cool. Because I don't care. I'm empty and I don't have to worry. And the first thing I've ever felt, there you go. There you go. You know, you fill me up with your emptiness, and what did I also say? You also get euphoria. And there it is. And it's the first thing I've ever felt. You make me feel empty and full all at once. Like empty of pain, but filled with euphoria. It's maddening. It's maddening. How can you not, even if it didn't have addictive qualities in it that make you physically addicted, how could you not get addicted to that? A magic pill that takes the pain away? Yeah. So don't even bother trying it. Unless you're in desperate need of it, of course. But like, you have to be in a right mindset or good place in your life anyway to, you know what I mean? I can't explain, but it's just, there's no point. The happiness is synthetic. What you want is real happiness, okay? That's what you search for. Synthetic happiness is just cheating. But then she says, that's why I'm keeping you to myself, you know. That's why I'm not telling anyone about you. It's such a lie, though. She's not keeping it to herself because of the way it feels. She's like, oh, it's our secret relationship. No, she's not telling anyone else because she knows it's wrong. But this is the romanticized version of it. You fill me with emptiness. First thing I ever felt, you were so wonderful. That's why I'm keeping you to myself because I want it to be mine. That's fucking bullshit. The reason you're not telling anyone is because you know deep, deep, deep down it's not right. And you won't tell anyone because you don't want to stop. This is deep, man. Hit me like a wave. Don't send me back to shore. Out there, I get so bored. Yeah, because just riding those waves in the ocean, just, who cares? You're in your own fucking world, man. Hit me like a wave and let me be reborn. Fill me like a vase and let the water pour. Can you fill me up? I've never got to know someone like you before, so soft and pure. That makes me feel so emotional, that bit. Like, that so soft and pure bit is just so true and so sad, you know, because this is the devil masked as an angel. So soft and pure. That is how it makes, you know, that it's not how it makes you feel, it's what it is. You know, in that moment, nothing is wrong with it. Nothing can be bad about it. Wow, this song. And then she says, you're more like a distant moon, shine on a cape so blue. Yeah. And then, you know, that's the end of the main bulk of lyrics. And maybe it's not even about drugs, and I don't care at this point, you know, because I feel it is, and it means something to me. What the artist has said about the song. This was written with one of my favourite writers in Los Angeles, a fellow Canadian named Simon Wilcox. He wrote Jealous for Nick Jonas. She's one of the only writers in LA that's able to go there lyrically with me. It's a song about singing to your drug of choice. Yeah. I knew it. And it didn't matter if it was true or not. It meant that for me. She says, come into my room with me and wrap me up. I love your touch. Come into my room with me and make it stop. I think too much. It's about being held in the arms of your drug of choice. And then we also put in a lot of East Coast imagery in there. I saw myself being in the freezing cold water of Cape Cod, or Cape God, I should say. I'm feeling really good, even though my body was freezing. Yes. It's just a lie. This video is 2.5 hours. How have I taught this much? Her lyrics, when you listen to them, they are like these pop, disco, funky moments. And then you really get into lyrics. They are so much more. What a powerful song. Madam X is a metaphor for heroin. Allie references the damaging effects of opioid addiction, as well as the pain-killing properties of heroin in these lines. Yeah, and I'm lucky I didn't get that far. I'm lucky. I don't know what it was that. What did it? What saved me? What did I do? Like, I think maybe number one, it's hard to believe that addiction could happen to someone like me, and the way it happened is exactly the way it would happen to someone like me, because I'm so terrified of getting addicted to anything. I'm so terrified of losing control and not feeling like myself. Yet I took something and I did it slowly and built it up so slowly that I tricked myself so quickly. I feel bamboozled still that this happened to me, and at the same time I feel sad that I had to give it up. And I'm glad too, but I have to still mourn it. Because I kind of mourned the person I was when I was on it, you know? I felt better. I felt like a better person. And to find out it was all a lie, that's just so painful. I'm going to get myself together. I've not actually cried in like weeks, guys, like properly cried. My eyes tear up, but I don't fully cry. I would love to, but I also don't think I'd come back from it if I started now. Think about that, months of not crying, and then it all happens on this video. Oh God, okay, I'm bringing it back. I'm coming out of it now. Whew. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Why throw that in the second song to the last song? We were doing so well, having a good time, and then you break me like that. Okay, last song. And it's called Learning in Public. Number one, I just think that's a brilliant name. It makes me think of a library for one, but anyway, like Learning in Public is just interesting. I don't know, I just like the name of that. Like, oh, it's just got a lot of meaning behind it. It feels quite deep, and I don't know how to describe it yet. Let me listen to the song and see if it helps. Oh, sorry, going on about all that, but you know, that's what I'm like in my videos. Whatever hits me, whatever I feel, it's been said out loud. So yeah, let's go.
I'm sorry, there's something happening in me. If I'm aimless, am I blameless?
Ooh.
Why does it have to
It could have either been really heavy then, or like this. That's cute. Oh, I love that.
I didn't mean to make, without letting you know, take you with me, but did you slip away? It's confusing.
I like that drum.
Why can't you look at me while everyone's watching? I'm learning in public. Everything I thought I wanted, I
Ooh,
changed
reminds me of
my
Marina
mind.
here.
I forgot it, the time and energy. This is somewhere till it's nowhere at all, and all it's just
The backing vocal, the ad-lib, the harmony. That choral moment is so beautiful. Very organic feeling, actually.
I changed my mind, then I forgot it all.
Ooh, the way it jarring ending on that note. Forgot it all. You'd want it to land on a Everything I thought I wanted, I changed my mind and I forgot it all. I forgot it all. You know, that would feel comfortable. But I forgot it all. So abrupt. I think that is so, well, of course it's purposely done. I think it's very impactful though. Okay, let's go to the about section. I did find myself a little bit like, you know, like, I'm still trying to snap back from the Madam X song. So I was a little bit like maybe not fully there with it, but I really enjoyed it all the same. I think when I find Madam X less painful, I could listen to that a bit more. I don't know, that Madam X song, it's like, I want to be able to listen to that again, and I will, but I want to be able to listen to it like loads because it's so beautiful and I got every bit of it, but I'm also like, it's so painful. Maybe I need to listen to it more though to really cry, get those tears out, you know. So this is the last song, Learning in Public. I'll just go on to say what I felt learning in public meant. I felt it meant like going out there and learning how to be a person. That sounds so silly, but maybe a social, capable creature. And it's all in public because the only way you can learn it is in public. Well, okay, let me just speak for my own sort of self. I'm quite agoraphobic. Like, I've left the house once this month. Not a brag. I literally left once this month. Okay, bear in mind, I was ill for 2.5 to 3 weeks. I'm still not perfectly okay now. Still, that is a bit crazy. But anyway, so I felt like, I related it to my agoraphobia and like, because you have to go out in public to defeat it and you learn new things as you're out there in public and I don't know, that's how I saw it. But anyway, it says here, this song is almost written from my current state of mind, all these years later, having gone through everything and becoming a more confident woman. The process of writing the record was therapeutic. I was able to reflect and sympathise with my younger self and give her a voice. That was a very liberating thing to do for myself. I'm saying life is flawed, I'm still learning, I've learned a lot, but I've got a lot more to learn. Yeah, totally true. Yeah, I actually do like that as a last song then, as an outro, because it makes a lot of sense lyrically and like the meaning of the song, it makes sense being like, you know, I'm still learning, and it almost like teases us that there will be more music to come too, like still learning, still finding myself, so you feel like that is a pathway to more music, which is really cool. Yeah, okay, right, I can't believe it's taken me nearly 3 hours to do this whole video. And the album was 43 minutes. How does that happen? But anyway, I'm excited to make dinner. So we started with Fresh Laundry. I literally was like taken back by it straight away. Loved it, had a psychedelic feel to it. Loved the meaning of the song. Loved my own interpretation of the song. Devil I Know instantly made me realise what it, you know, there's a drug situation going on there. And I was like, ooh, it felt very, like she said, accessible. However, the lyrics were quite dark. Regulars, super cute. Really like the meaning behind that too. Really, really smart lyricism in the fact of like, you know, hanging off the edge of the building like the regulars. I like that. That's cool. Sarah Come Home, really cute. I felt like I didn't really follow the story properly at the time, but I found it to be really sweet. And then Rings a Bell, super like just like saucy disco fun. I like that, that's cool. June Gloom, again, really cute, but also probably so relatable and helpful for other people. I really like that one. Love Me Wrong, again, super sad about familial, you know, love and it not being the love that you wanted. Yeah, Super Duper Party People might be one of my faves just because it's really fun, light-hearted, and maybe that's just what I like at the moment. Susie Save Your Love, yeah, that one was really cute too. Interesting. Maybe not a favourite though. Life of the Party, really cool again. Really glad about the topics that were addressed, but probably not a favourite. Madam X, obviously, like super deep. You know what I felt about that. Yeah. And then Learning in Public, I feel like I didn't even fully take it in, but I did enjoy listening to it. There was nothing about it that made me go, what? No. So yeah. That's a rundown. I really hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please do consider liking, subscribing and all that. I've literally sat on my poor buttocks for like 3 hours and I really put my heart and soul into this. I hope that comes through. So if you did enjoy, do subscribe and like, or leave a comment, whatever you want to do. And especially if you really enjoyed it, then please come on Patreon and support me so I can keep doing these videos for as long as I possibly can. But yeah, other than that, I shall see you next time. Bye!